Kathy Vick, deeply awake. I've got a good one for you, and it'll be a littler one. Um, my team, or the voices in my head, or however you want to label what it is that I do, have since, well, for the whole time that they've been with me, they have urged me to discover and state what it is I want, which I've found very interesting. I never ascribed to the Buddhist belief that desire is the devil. It's not Satan. Wanting something, desiring something with your mind, with your heart, with your loins. Oh, let's not say that's bad. Let's not do that. That's a house divided. That's the same kind of thing that you see with psychology. Oh, the ego. The ego is the bad guy. No, there's no part of you that's bad. The only part of you that's bad is your ignorance of how things actually work and of your actual power and magnificence and worth. So, it brought up the nature of desire. And of course, it brings up will. What if I want something somebody else has? What if I want something that only someone else can give me? What then? Will a power struggle ensue? Will my will prevail? These are fundamental questions of how the world works, how reality works, how you work within reality. And I'm naturally aware of the fun and the ability to manifest stuff. So how do you work with it? During my graduation, after all the casino machines went dead and the lights went out, well, I got bored while I was waiting, so I got my solitaire game out. But they said, just look up, get ready to look up. Yeah, whatever. And I'm playing solitaire, and then I things start to crackle on, and they said, now look up. And I had screens, penny slots that were machines that had computer writing, and the writing started to write, and they said, look, and it said, check all, manifest, check all, manifest. And the thing was, tell, what do you want? You may have it. And that's been since that time, the message, what do you want? You may have it. If you'll notice, I don't have a Volvo in the driveway of a mansion. I don't have a savings account. I don't have the love of my life. I don't have a smashing job. And yet I'm told for 6 years, what do you want? You may have it. Isn't that weird? Well, I wanted peace. Don't you know? I wanted inner peace. That's all I've ever wanted. Just inner peace. I want to know how this works. I want the answers. Dang it. That's what I want. I want to understand. It's really the only thing that's ever interested me, is knowing how this works. I want to understand. But I wanted peace. I knew that I would have peace if I understood. So that's a really nice banner, a general banner, under which a young army can walk. But there's only one soldier standing, and that soldier's old and has arthritis and would like to rest. So it's come again, what do you want? He may have it. So I want to tell you that just it's just a big cosmic joke, as always, around here. About a week ago, excuse me, I realized that I needed to break a pattern. I had long ago gotten myself into a pickle and not, stood my ground and said F you to someone who was being a bully, And instead, I took on way, way too much. And then I felt victimized. And I carried that pattern with me for, I don't know, a really super long time. And it finally dawned on me, oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. And so I went back and I dealt with the tough time that I had and the decisions I made due to that tough time. Those decisions have remained in place ever since, and they've been the bane of my existence. So I went back there. It was really helpful. It was really good. And I needed a friend back then. And I got one in me. I went back and visited. It felt good and helped me a lot. And I could go back there again. It's not complete, but it's a start. You know what I mean? Some of these visits take time. You have to go back more than once. But I'll guarantee you, if you have a place in your life where you got, I don't know, beat up by your best friend or something horrible happened to you and you thought that the world was literally going to end, you broke up with the love of your life or whatever, visit that person. Visit yourself in trauma. Quiet down. Understand you're just visiting. Those emotions are real, but they were real in the moment. And probably quite overwhelming. And you have some perspective now you didn't have then, even if it was 2 weeks ago. Come on now. You can go back there. Just sit with her. Just sit with him. Maybe at that moment you made a decision that you have regretted ever since. Every single day, ever since. And you've had to live with that pain. Go back there. Sit down on that bench. And hold space. Just be a witness. It's amazing what you'll learn. It's amazing what you can heal. And what does that mean? It means coming to love something and understand something you didn't understand before. Maybe along the way, since that moment, that horrible moment, whatever it may happen to be, you've since learned that the person that you were convinced killed you dead was under tremendous pressure or under the burden of a horrible misunderstanding or whatever. And at the time, neither of you knew. You were cloaked in your awareness. Who says you can't go back to there? And just hold space with the higher knowledge. Do you think that doesn't happen with us? I think that's what the galactics are all about. Time is simultaneous. There's no past, future, present, whatever. You can parse it all you want. It's a wonderful, wonderful study. And if you like that kind of thing and you're completely OCD, go for it. Time is simultaneous. And it's not the linear threads that push on each other. It's our consciousness that pushes on ourselves, asking us to come together, consolidate, love ourselves into wholeness. So, what do you want? What do you want? Well, I don't have my Mini Cooper. I don't have my dream job. I don't have the love of my life. I don't have a fat bank account. I don't have a network of like-minded individuals. I don't have a huge readership. I don't have a schedule of interviews and readings. Those are things I don't have, but I'd like them. But what do I want? I want a peace. And I have peace. I can dip in and I feel such an organic, quiet, the knowledge that I love and require for happiness, a science and things like that, is just smooth as glass and always there. And it's like this crystal river of knowledge that I can count on. I know I can go to the park and be met with miraculous things, and I'm going to do that. I want to do some of. I really enjoyed the part of my talks that have talked about nature. I'm going to start doing that more, nature talks. But so I visited that traumatic time in an effort to break a spell, because I solved an unsolvable problem the best way I could at the time, and then I carried that solution with me, but the solution was actually becoming a problem years later. So it dawned on me, I have too many clothes, because at the time I wasn't put in charge of doing all the laundry, and it was just like an onerous thing. I won't go into the details, but trust me, it would have pissed you off too. So anyway, it was one more task that Cinderella had to take on. So I realized, that the fix was to have a lot of clothes. I had surgery and maybe did laundry twice or three times while I was recovering, and there's still clothes in my closet that are hanging there that you'd have to pay me to wear, but I refuse to get rid of. What's that about? What's that about? And then I put two and two together and realized, oh, I'm just doing the old program of let's just have as many clothes as possible so I don't have to do laundry very often because it sucks to do it. I mean, at the time I had a premature baby on oxygen, and I had to schlep the laundry down a 20-mile rock corridor, a canyon, from Jamestown to Boulder, to do the trick. It was sucky. I don't have that anymore. And you want to know the truth? I'm so European that I pick out something I like that I want to wear, and I wear it for several days in a row. Ooh. And I don't really like to change it until it's stained or, dirty. And it's not dirty after 2 hours. And that's like, I could never live the way I wanted to live, working in working class America, because even my scrubs had to be changed every day. And I just think that's so wasteful. With scrubs, I totally understand it. Don't get me wrong. I always had clean scrubs on every single shift. That's just a cleanliness thing. But in real life, come on now. If in a real life job, what it's showing is a status thing. It's look how much money I have. I can change my clothes every day, kind of thing. Look how much resources I have at my fingertips. I have clean clothes every day, and I don't need to live that way. So I realized I probably only need about 10 shirts. So I got rid of 7 bags of clothes, and I donated them. I didn't throw them away. I felt so good about that too. And I have a laundry hamper of clothing I still need to wash, and the truth is that it's been 4 days and I don't really give a crap about it. Which brings up why I'm talking to you. I realized it's not about, oh, I'm going to keep it if I love it. Because love, fuck it, I don't know what that word means. Not anymore. So just, you'll have to be more descriptive. All right. I'll only keep the things around that are my favorites. Well, that didn't work either, because I can walk in my closet and go, yeah, that's a favorite. I picked that out of all the other things at the Goodwill. It's my favorite. I can't get rid of it. So, I cracked this nut. What do you want? You may have it. You have to have a bit of inner responsibility before you pull that trigger, What do you want? You may have it. Understanding that no other person's will could be overridden to get what I want, obviously, but that needs to be said, I guess. What do I want? Well, during this process of life review that I've done, and reviewing of my behavior and of past patterning and how things have gone, I've not only seen how difficult my behavior became for others, but I also got to see in Technicolor the behavior of others that led to the decisions I made to act as I did. And with that process more complete, what I'm beginning to realize is that when I came up empty, when I came up short, I'd look at my life or my behavior and feel bad about myself, like I'd let myself down. It's because I didn't show care. I wasn't demonstrating how much I cared. And what I really feel I really want, is to be cared for, cared about. And I love being able to care for someone else, when they accept my care. And so I realize, I want to keep the clothes around me that I care about. I want to, what clothes do I care about? That I choose out of all of you guys today, I'm going to choose you. You feel the best. And I usually choose the same things again and again, day to day. So I don't need many clothes. I'm like that with people too. Once I choose you, let's have it work out, because, how can I unchoose you? So that's why it's hard when I have had things that have gone wrong, and I've had a lot of things go wrong. So they're all out there, but they're not attached, and I still care. I still love them, but I can't give them care. They don't want or whatever to care. It's the caring that I care about. It's loving my friend Linda so much, but that's not enough. It's going over to her house and sitting with her and eating strawberries with her. It's caring. Peace and caring. That's what I care about. That's what I want. That to me represents a full life. It doesn't matter if I go travel around, if I'm empty inside and I'm sad and I'm looking down and I feel alone. Who cares if I'm in Bolivia or Denver? I'm in prison. I want my life to be a flower, blooming. I want to be breathing people in and having them breathe me in, and I want to be recognized, and I want to recognize them. I want to care. And that's, I find, if I want a life that is not full of regret and remorse, then I'm going to get off my ass and I'm going to show care. Because that's what you're dealing with on your deathbed, baby. That's what it's all about. And having gone through that process, and you go through it peripherally as a nurse, as a hospice nurse, believe me. All that stuff. So, the funny thing is, here's the joke. Here's the punchline. The last several days, I've been waking up feeling complete. And not just feeling, I feel it, I intuit, I'm complete. No, it's like, yeah, you're complete. Done. Boom. And I really am very, very aware of the first few thoughts I have, and the feelings, the sensations I have in my body, and just this sense of completion. Wowie. But today, the image I got, there were 2 boxes, large boxes. Like we brought some boxes of stuff in. I have to move my leg, it's falling asleep. And it was big boxes like that, and they were on my bed, where I've been doing a lot of the staging and stuff. And it just was junk, but it was good junk. Okay? There's a difference. And I realized it was everything I ever wanted. everything. Everything. That's a lot. But it was in those boxes. And they said, we want you to notice something. That is everything. And it's significant. Look through it. Yeah, it's in 2 cardboard boxes. Sitting on a bed. There's so much more. It was very humbling. And that's the humility that I see in this process, and that I think I see people don't understand until you have truly been humbled. It's not a bad thing. It's when you're dressed down by your own ignorance. You realize just how little you know and how much you thought you knew. And I looked at those boxes, and what's in there is considerable. It's no small thing. But it was just stuff in a box. It was odd. So it did bring to mind, what matters here. What matters here is demonstrating love. It's showing caring, regardless of the bad behavior, regardless. And I get so tired, and my mood can get black. I can get so tired, fatigued, and you just don't know what I have to deal with. You don't know, and it gets old. It feels never ending. And 30 years ago, 20 years ago, it was never ending. It was going to keep on going. So I recognize that when I'm feeling this way, I'm feeling something that was completely legitimate to feel. And I felt for a long time. And I'm now just functioning without it. And it gives me a lot of love and compassion for my old self. And for how hard it was and how hard I made it for others. Because there was a lot that I was dealing with that was really hard. And I dealt with very well. But it just is, that's, I think, part of the going back process and visiting the places in your life that were tricky for you. Just for you. After the fist fight, or after the ultimatum is turned down, or after, that's who you go visit. The one who's left with all the pieces in their hands, wondering how the hell they're going to make it go again. And if you haven't had that experience, well, bravo, that's really good. But you're on a different path than me, that's for sure. So all I can say is that what this process has taught me is what's important to me. And that's what I'm sharing. I made a mistake. A book isn't 500,000 words. A nice sized book is 50,000 words. A bigger book is 100,000 words, and that's a big one. And I said I had 1 million words. I'd put up about 1 million words just in written form. Well, that's 10 to 20 volumes. And that's not counting the video work, and that's another probably 10 to 20 volumes. But I always get the math wrong, so I have to clarify that. And I have to say that as this process continues, I feel less and less like I want to talk about this stuff anymore. And it's a different sensation than before, because before it was like, I just can't do it. It's too hot or something. Like it just was like a magnetic repel, that I couldn't go toward it sometimes. And then I would feel really attracted to it and really repelled and really attracted. It was like that. this is different. I feel so complete and so done and so relieved that everything that I would want to talk about, I already have. If not in written form, then in video form. And I realize some of the risks I've taken and what I've said, and I mean every single word. When it comes to my personal history and what I know to be true, I'm not lying. None of it's a lie. None of it's an exaggeration, and none of it is a product of a diseased mind. And I got feedback like that on the video that's more popular, that I was being deceptive, or that was my deal. And I thought, wow, I've had really, really good training, because I really super don't care if people think I'm the devil. I know I'm protected, and I know I just don't have any interest in arguing with that. It's just like, whatever. Good. I'm really glad I'm there. I'm glad I'm there. I'm glad that when I'm offering pearls and people, spit on them, that I can understand that the pearls remain beautiful, and spit can be washed off. It doesn't matter. And that's a really good place to be, but it also is like, that means I don't have to argue about it, and I don't want to argue about it. I don't want to even discuss it. Don't want to negotiate it. I don't want to fine-tune it. Every single time I wrote down anything, I did it as a complete package, and it was complete and done and out of my blood and out on the internet. Part of me, and yet released. And that's how I feel about the whole project, knowing it's complete. So there are some things I want to do, and I used to think to myself, what's going to happen is that I'm going to produce this big, huge body of like New Age, religio, whatever stuff, physics stuff, weird stuff, ascension stuff. That's way super out there, but is completely legit. And it's just, it's just really hard to people will try, but they won't be able to really, they'll see I'm being honest, and it's like, wow, well, that's an interesting story. But that's going to be flying all on its own. I'm going to be off doing other stuff when people finally get word about Deeply Awake, and then they're going to be like, oh my God. And I'm going to be thinking about, the comedy special I'm putting on. And I saw that at the very beginning, that there's a timing thing that just like, don't expect to get any traction. Don't expect to get any like kudos and accolades from this. This is a work of love, simply a work of love, and it's highly, highly personal. And when it's done, it's done. Mission accomplished. The job is done. You can go on and do whatever you want, and that's how I'm feeling. So it's exciting to be on the launching pad, and to finally have things in front of me I'm not only interested in, but completely capable of doing, and willing to do, and excited to do. Because with that, I can demonstrate my caring. I can demonstrate who I am, and I can love on myself because I'm doing the things that I love and that I care about. I'm wearing the clothes I care about. I'm wearing the earrings I care about. And I'm associating with people I care about, and I'm showing them that I care about them. Ooh! That to me is a life well lived. And all the other nonsense is just like, oh my, yammer, 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 yammer. Yeah, I know the world is shit. Yeah, huh? Yeah. Yeah. I know that part of the programming really good. If you want, we can go down any odd little alleyway you'd like. I'm happy to talk to you about really any subject. I'm willing to listen to anything you have to say. But that stuff is like backstory. Interesting. Hypnotizing. a bit overwhelming, emotionally engaging, and just one stream of reality to me. So for me, what matters is being in the moment, being around people I love, who I feel safe to care about, who make it safe, who allow me to love them. Oh my. So those keywords of flow, care, and then those boxes. Yep, there it is. Everything you ever worked for this whole life, there it is. It's done. It felt like trivialized because it was in 2 boxes. And it wasn't trivial at all. But it was to prove a point. What I thought I wanted was a little trivial. But it was all I could see. It's all I knew. It's all I knew to want. But getting into the feeling of what feels good. What do I want more of? How do I want to feel? From there, the pictures, circumstances, people flow. From there, I can take a vacation or a trip, and I'm not alone and lonely and looking down. I'm aware that I've been called away because there are people away who are looking to meet me. 2 different realities. And I acknowledge they live side by side or interspersed or whatever. I mean, those boxes were sitting on a bed. And that's the thought that came to me, and that's what I'll leave you with. I realized, all right, this is everything, every single accomplishment, every single thing that I ever valued in this lifetime, sitting here. But it's a bedroom. There's a bed, and I'm looking at it. It's great. It's awesome. I see the job is done, and I can enjoy the fruits of the labor now. But it's so much bigger in here. Oh my God. That's how I feel today, and that's what I wanted to come and give you. So I hope that helps. It's a Monday. There's stuff to do. All right. Well, we'll get this show on the road. We'll get everyone satisfied. We're not. I'll do my part. Hopefully everyone else will be satisfied with that. Oh, that does remind me one last thing about what do you want? You may have it. And this thing that I changed of when I want something and say I want something, I'm going to get it. You got to understand, I'm not talking about subjugating anyone's will. That's not what this is about. It's not about overriding anyone's will. It's not about it's not about a smash and grab of I want that, I can have it because I'm more powerful than you. It's not what it's about at all. But unfortunately, I think it needs to be said out loud just so people know. It's not about material possessions, and it's not about any of that crap. How do you feel when you got your ass in your car? What do you think and feel about where you're going, where your car is pointed? What do you think and feel about the person in the seat next to you? That's what matters. That's what matters. It's the only thing that matters. Where's your head? Where are your thoughts? What are you aware of? How awful your life is, and how shitty your boss is, and how mean your girlfriend is, and how whatever. That's the question. And I want that care. I want to show myself I care. I want to show others that I care. I want the world to show me it cares. That's what I want. that and this inner peace of knowing who's who, what's what, to the best of my understanding abilities. There's always more. It's not like I have the answers to everything. I have adequate answers for now, for me. That's it. So again, it's like, oh, well, she doesn't have all the answers. Well, duh. Of course I don't. I've never said I want any. I've always said I don't want anybody following me. I don't want students. I'm not a guru, and I'm certainly no healer. That's not the point of any of this. It's one person saying, oh my God, will you take a look at this? What the hell's going on with me? That's what this is. And from there, well, imagine what I'll be able to produce. But yeah, this is a work in progress. That's one of the reasons I didn't think it was okay to charge money for it. How is this going to turn out? Is this going to be a dreamboat or a dud? I don't know. Better not charge anything for it quite yet. So anyway, that gives you maybe a little bit of background. So I can have a bit of a sense of humor about it, although I took it so seriously. I had to. That was part of it too. If I didn't take it seriously, who was gonna? Absolutely no one in my reality. It was lined up for miles and miles that there would be either hostilities or neutralities. But very, very, very few advocates. And, initially, none. Then, actually, there was one, Mama Linda. And then there was another. And that's all I needed. The fans and readers, all that came much later. I had two people who believed in me. And without them, I wouldn't have done the work. Because nobody else did. I disappointed everyone else, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. Oh, ye of little faith. So anyway, with that complete, it feels really good because I really don't have to discuss this anymore. It's all in that box. Anybody can just look in it, take a look. But it's just sitting on a bed in a house, and I've moved on. And to say that is just shocking, because how can you move on from that? You can't really. I mean, I take everything with me, all the sparklies and stuff. I was describing something going on inside of me. So it's not like the work is the only product. The product is me. The work is the description of what was going on. So I walk with all that magic. And I'm much more comfortable just being magic now and just copping to it. It's a little less dangerous. It's always dangerous if you carry magic. It just is. But you don't get magic unless you can deal with the danger, duh. So, it's all commensurate. You just have a different set of headaches, that's all. Maybe the little minions don't come after you, the bigger ones come after you. But, around here, polarity, polarity, polarity. For a while, anyway. It's not necessary, but it is voluntary, and it's going to be nice when it's no longer so much of a choice, but it's an active kind of a choice with the consciousness where it is right now. So still have to trigger it sometimes. That's fine. It's fine. It's still much more automatic than it used to be. Much, much more smooth. Much better than it used to be. So that's my little update. I hope it helps. I hope it's fun. And I hope that you're having fun. I do want to mention the Guatemala volcano. Oh my gosh. And the Hawaii thing. I keep seeing things I've been seeing things in Hawaii since way before the volcano. So and every time I go to those two things, I am told what to do. It's like, I don't want to. I don't want it to be time yet. So I'm going to probably accomplish a couple things I'm being admonished to do. And I encourage you to listen to your guidance and to trust it and to follow it. Just like doing a dream journal, if you have it by your bedside and you make a deal with yourself that you're going to write down all dream content, you'd be surprised how much dream content you start getting. Same deal. If you decide you're going to start looking for synchronicity and not putting it down, but you're going to kind of go whee and celebrate it, you want to know what happens? You get more of it. And I finally, said, hey, and this still stands. I want my synchronicity big. I want it sloppy big. I want it pristine and precise. And I want always, there's always the question, it's always, I love synchronicity because there's a built-in fail-safe for those who don't have the eyes to see. It's really sweet. But I love it. I love it. And I said, lay it on thick. Make situations in my life so full of synchronicity that a third grader would look at it and go, oh my God, really? Wow. Like that. And so that's oftentimes what I get because I like it and they like giving it to me like that. You've got a team who really would like to talk with you. You can set it up. It's your energetic fields. It's your job to set it up. It's your right and your responsibility to get behind those controls and start working them. So I hope that helps. So I'm going to set my dials on gentle and psychedelic. All right. As always. Namaste.